Hello.
Let's set up the first forest room first, and then I'm the reason we're late. Thank you, Amar, for being on time. And yes, I know my email is like you're filling up space, so today I have to delete emails because I'm apparently at 98% full.
I'm getting close to that. I need to delete stuff too, but you don't want to know how many unread emails I have because I have so many email things, and the way they do it, like, you see the thing, you're like, I don't need to open you. So I have over 35,000 unopened emails
It's
across.
not even that. It's the storage space. So what I need to do is go through all the new emails that are coming into the old email account, but using the same storage, and delete those so new stuff doesn't come in, and then continue deleting the
Yeah,
old stuff that I know I don't need anymore. So let me just.
I was wrong. I have 73,652 unread emails. But most of
Mm,
them are junk. They're just junk, and I see the thing that it's junk, and I just leave it because it's junk. And I have like,
well, when it's junk, I always empty out that folder, but that's still not enough for what is happening to me.
well, yeah, not like the spam junk. I mean, just stuff I don't like, newsletters or emails that I've kind of been like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. But that's across like 7 different email addresses. So if you really break it down between each one, that's not that bad.
Um, I just know I need to delete stuff. And I thought I had unsubscribed from this email from Staples, but I'm unsure now because they send so many things. So yeah, I just need to go through and delete stuff. But I also need to edit the video for tomorrow. Um, your force room is still not working, Regina. You've tried? Nope, that's the wrong app. I did my allergy open Canva, and I'm like, why don't I have your thumbnail for today? And I'm like, oh yeah, because I was being stupid and downloading and like downloading and then deleting the thumbnails. So I opened Canva because normally I leave it there. And it's
Oh.
like, where'd it go? And it's like, you on your computer. On your computer is where you put it. As long as we have that.
I'm like so tired. I had 3 12-year-olds from Friday night until Saturday night because mine are 12 and my nephew is turning 13 in a couple months. But I wanted to surprise him by taking him to see Spider-Man. And
Ooh.
originally the plan was going to be, it was going to be just me and him, and I was going to give my 2 to my sister to do something fun for the day and have like a little swap. So we do auntie nephew stuff. But I am impatient and really wanted to see that movie. So I was like, can I just have him early? And the way that worked out was to have a sleepover with my kids. So it was very fun, but that's a lot of kids in my house.
Hmm. Oh,
I was like, I
my
don't want
hair's
to be
acting up.
big.
Also, that's the old code. Just give me a second. 4-2, Mike 2, Tango, Quebec, Delta, Sierra, Golf. And I'm just writing in the other tree options so I don't have to check this later.
Yes, Regina, 3 12-year-olds. One is, and my nephew was very chill. He was very easy, but it's still a lot of kids.
Yeah, no, that's still a lot. Regina, have you tried completely quitting the app, deleting the app, restarting your iPad, turning your iPad back on, re-downloading the app, and then logging back into the app? myself. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to add myself because I need to check my forest staff to be able to bullet journal. So let's turn off the code. I was doing this because I played the Riley full Pomodoro timer the last time I streamed because it was just me. So it didn't make sense to take the timer on and off the screen, but it does. Okay, we are going to start in, I gotta set the sprint thing back. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, happy productivity, everyone. And it just turned the 15-minute marks. That was perfect. Sorry. I was on a phone call that gave me a lot to think about. Good stuff, but a lot to think about. And that's all I'll say. I need to take my meds. Thank you, Regina, for that reminder.
Yes, I need to do that as well.
But they're already packed for me, so this is why I do that.
It's like really close to the screen. I am working on my book today. I'm still on the rewrite of the first chapter because I finished that, but then I've just been sitting with it for a while, like still trying to figure out like there were some things that still needed to be shifted, and so I did those, and that ended up adding 260 words. Sorry, so I actually wrote 210 because I initially hold on. Math is
The
hard.
way you paused, I'm like, for a second I thought you were buffering, and it turned out you were, but just your brain was buffering.
My brain was buffering. Okay, because originally when I opened it, I've been keeping track of like my word count. I was negative 50 words for that chapter, but the first time I went through and rewrote it, meaning I took out 50 words. But now I'm 260 words more than I was originally, but I was negative 50. So that means I actually wrote
net 210.
Yeah.
Net 210. So you were correct on that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, I wasn't second guessing your math. You just
no, I was.
And that's why I had.
I was second guessing.
You're good. You're good. Of course, Regina. Of course, he's disgruntled. You didn't feed him immediately. How dare you? Also, I apparently don't have water in my bedroom, which is important for me to take my meds. So I'll be right back. I should have noticed that earlier, but the phone call came up, and yeah, I did delete some emails. I unsubscribed from some things. I took a screenshot of how much mail on this one account I had for storage, so that by the end of the stream I'll be able to say this is how many gigabytes I deleted. But I think for the next sprint what I really need to do is eat the breakfast I asked my mom to make me, edit more of the vlog that's going up tomorrow, because if I save it all for the last sprint, it's not going to get done in time. And basically after this live stream, I don't know that I'm going to be able to work on it again today, whereas the email's an ongoing thing. But I need to get it down so it's not like, oh, you're at 98% of storage. I'm like, oh god, what if that like blocks an email and an important email tomorrow? So I think while I'm eating breakfast, I might do a little bit more of the emails, and then once breakfast is done, switch over. But let me go get my water, and then I'll set up the next forest room. Yeah, because if I even though it wouldn't take me long to set up the next forest room, if I put this off, I will forget. So be right back.
I'm sleepy. During the sprint, I went to make coffee, and then I went to go grab it after the sprint was supposed to end, and I had actually not pressed the button. So I gotten it already, but not pressed the button. But luckily, because Zara was on the phone call, I was able to go back and make my coffee. That is very sweet. It's just makeup, and I think StreamYard has a filter, but that is very sweet, Regina. It's 7 a.m.
It's time to turn on my bedroom light, you know? It's 10. Gotta be functioning adult.
I figured out why my brain was glitching. I wrote 310 words but total new words for the draft is 260. So I have 260 new words, but I had to write 310 because the first 50 got me back to where it was originally word count wise. And then there's 260 new ones on top of that. That's why my brain was glitching, because I was like trying to figure out, I can figure out how many new words for the draft, but how many did I actually write? But that feels good because soon I'll be at 500 and then I can take a sticky note and move it down. And then I can finally feel like I'm having progress on my sticky note door.
Nice, nice.
So. Because it's really hard to feel progress when you're taking words away.
I know, but if you're making the words better.
They are making the words better, yes. Yes, so that's why I ended up just like writing other tasks that I had also completed and making other sticky notes just so I could have something on the done side so I could feel like, see, I am making progress while I'm taking words away.
Sorry, just really quickly, can y'all hear my mom on the phone? Because it's like family stuff, so I want to make sure you guys can't hear her. Otherwise, I'll ask her to go into her room for privacy.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, StreamYard clearly took a page out of Zoom's sound canceling, thank God, because I remember when it wasn't as good. Although, of course, New York traffic is still loud enough that people can still hear it on my streams, but thankfully it's too early in the morning for that. Sorry, I'm just erasing stuff in my bullet journal because I had to take notes on something in pencil. And it took up almost the whole page. I didn't have space to do today's bullet journal. I took a picture of it. I didn't just erase all my notes without any record of them, but yeah, I had to take notes on that phone call. Look at you, Regina.
Ooh, it's amazing.
I'm eavesdropping on my mom. She was calling the person about one thing, and now she's talking about the phone call that we just had. I'm like, oh, okay, Mom. I guess you're telling everyone now.
That's like me. Oh my God, it was so funny. My sister said something.
Phone call, and it was like, oh, wait, and think about it. And like the people already. I'm like, okay.
Like, I'll tell everybody my business. Like, everybody, I'm like, okay, so this is a secret. Let me tell 7 people. But other people's stuff, it was so funny. The other day, my sister and I were talking about something. She's like, I have to say something. I'm like, what? What'd I do? She's like, for as much as you talk, the fact that you can keep so many secrets is crazy. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's like that's the way. Yeah.
So I love my mom, I do, but her assumption is if it's family, they can know. Whereas my grandma would be like, can I tell other people? Which also applied to family. She wouldn't be like, oh, it's family, obviously they can know. Or like, oh, obviously I won't tell someone if you tell me not to tell someone, but otherwise it's like fair game. So when I just had this phone call that ended with the like, oh, things are a little bit up in the air. My mom's immediately telling her brothers that like, oh, this thing might be happening. I was like, don't. It's not set in stone. We don't need to share this yet.
No. Yeah, it's just funny.
My uncle's voice was a lot louder than my mom's. She was coming closer with the phone. And I'm like, I really don't want the news to go out on the internet right now. Otherwise, I would have just told y'all.
Right? We can't hear anything. I can't speak for other people, but I'm trying to listen, and I'm not trying to listen.
No, because I asked you to. I was like,
I can't hear
so funny
anything.
Okay, hold on. I'm just. Okay, Mom. My mom was like, close your door if you're worried about them hearing. I'm just getting this anxiety that people are going to overhear the phone call. Also, my family doesn't like putting stuff on the internet, and they are sometimes like, well, you put a lot of stuff on the internet. And I was like, my Instagram page was like my dog and my books, and that has barely been touched. And this is like, I talk about books and we talk about pets. And also the state of the world burning, and then we move on because that's way too depressing for the time that I'm streaming. You know. Regina can't. Okay, that's good. That makes me feel better. But I was just hearing their voices like getting closer to me because my mom was pacing in the living room and getting closer to the bedroom and then away. But like my hearing is good enough that like I could hear every word the whole time. Now I'm trying not to, and I close my door. Oh my God. Oh, I take that back. I can still hear them.
We can't hear anything, so don't be worried.
I mean, Gwenna, we all make mistakes. Okay, that's good. And you learn something. But yeah, my grandma would always be like, "Oh my God, that's such great news. Can I tell people?" And I love that she did that because sometimes
Yeah.
you don't want everyone to know immediately. Like it was last year. I was getting ready for another surgery because I had like 5 surgeries in 3 years. And so I couldn't go to a family event, but it wasn't like at the same level of like, COVID and everything. So I was like, yeah, Mom, you can go. I'm just not going to because I don't want to get something. But I was less concerned about my mom picking something up and bringing it to me. So anyway, my mom went to our cousin's oh my God, my brain just completely blank. Housewarming. I'm like, it's not homewarming. Housewarming party. And that's where my mom found out that my cousins were expecting in like 2 months, like expecting on the same day that my surgery was scheduled for. But we had no idea she was pregnant at all. And we are like, yeah, sometimes you want to keep the happy news to yourself until whatever. So yeah, that my grandma would be like, no, if it's good news, do you want me to tell people? If it's sad news, is it okay if I tell people? Like, it didn't matter what the news was. She would just be like, do you want me to tell people so you don't have to? Or are you just telling me because you want me to know, but you don't want me to like act as the family heralds and like telling everyone? It was great.
That's the right way to do it. See, I have the two sides of my family. So my mom's side of the family, everybody is like a leaky faucet with information. Okay, you tell one person, you told everybody. The other side of my family, my dad's side, they are a vault, and that's how I was raised. And like my dad, here's the thing, and I've made this joke with people, and like my sister, again, because like divorced parents, like my sister that I talk to every day of my life, we don't have the same dad, and she's never really interacted with
the
me.
One whose son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I made this joke with her before, and she thought I was just being haha funny. And then when we were at my kid's birthday party, my dad was there, and she was like, "Oh my God, you really weren't lying about your dad." So in my dad's mind, like he's actually a Care Bear, but in his mind, he's one of the Sopranos. Okay. Like in his head, because he grew up in New Jersey, he's like super Italian Jersey guy. He worked in casinos as a pit boss in the casino for years. So like walking through the casino, you see like the guy, big glasses, dark hair, scowl on his face all the time. Nicest person in the world. Reality, he's a teddy bear.
Kind of like, the really tatted, pierced, like older guys at like a death metal concert.
Yeah.
And then you find out that they're like the nicest.
Yes. But the problem is in his head, we are not just a normal family that he happened to grow up in New Jersey. In his mind, we are part of a mob family, like in his mind. Okay. Like he watched The Sopranos and like was like, yep, that's real life. It's not. Okay. It's not. Like the time that there was one scene where they were eating pizza outside of Lodi Pizza, where he worked when he was a teenager. He talked about that for 2 years. Greatest day of his life. Anyways, so I remember watching like The Godfather with my dad at like 8. And there's a scene in Godfather 2 when they're on a lake. If you've seen what happens to Fredo, you know what I'm referring to. And he says to me, "That's why you don't rat." Okay, so this is my dad's so funny. And I'm explaining, but that's why I don't tell people secrets. And if you tell me something, because at 8 years old, I was told you don't tell people's business, right? And so then
it's a good lesson, but yes, no, it is not The Sopranos.
No, but so we're at the bowling alley for my kid's birthday. I'm doing something. My sister's chatting up with my dad and my stepmom, and one of my kids comes up and is tattling about something the other kid did. And he looks at my sister and he goes, "Didn't get it from this side of the family." Like, I'm just like, "Dad." And she was like, "Oh my God." And she was like, "You were literally not lying about your dad. He really lives in his own world, doesn't he?" I was like, "He literally does."
That's
He's
so
the
funny.
sweetest, though.
No, I'm Yay, Regina. Forest from Code is up. I am someone
Oh,
who I'll remember stuff unless it's like, oh, that's a small detail. I won't know that I've necessarily actively remembered it until someone mentions something. I'll be like, oh yeah. Which is why I'm really not good to tell jokes too, because people in my family repeat the same jokes over and over again. And my mom said it's rude to say like, oh, I know this one. I just have to sit through them. Um, but it's yeah, so I'll remember people's stuff, but I don't share that around. I'm like, no, not
don't
for me
tell
to say.
anything to my mother's side of the family, though. Nothing.
Oh, well, just saw a bug on something I crocheted. I was like, I did not add an eyebrow. Oh, how did I got there? Into the trash it goes. I saw something on this and it looked like an eyebrow, and I was like, I didn't embroider eyebrows on this. And it was a bug.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I'm a lot more chill about bugs than I used to be, but I still don't like them.
No. I found a
Still
really big
don't like
spider in the bathroom day before yesterday, and it was like in an area where like I went to go get a shoe and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get to this thing, and then I'm gonna try it, and then it's gonna scurry, and then I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
I know.
So I got a hammer.
Did you get it?
I got it. Genius. The only thing is I'm like, okay, why have I not done this before? Because the thing is sometimes when you get a shoe, you don't get it right, and then you're terrified, and then you get them,
Right.
the shoes are too big. And also, what if you like get it, but you don't get enough thing? A hammer, genius. Only thing is you got to be careful because hammers are hard, and it was on like I didn't
You could
break my
crack the
floor.
wall.
Like I didn't, it was on the floor, luckily, right? So like if anybody's like, "Ooh, that is genius," because I think it's genius. Be careful not to like hammer a hole into your wall or break your
Yeah, that's what
floor.
I was worried
Especially if
about.
you're
Well,
in
I
winter.
was worried that you didn't get the spider and made a hole in your wall. So
Yeah.
you got the
So it's
spider
like
and didn't make
you
a
got to
hole in
use
your floor.
just the right amount of like
Yeah.
momentum, but it's perfect because it's smaller. So like
Yeah.
getting into like those little corner areas, like
I this was months ago, but my mom had gotten some really good olive oil. Um and I'd really liked it. And so we got me 2 containers of it, and they were in my cabinet, and they were wrapped. Like they came from the company wrapped in tissue paper. I opened the tissue paper and bugs fell out of one of them. And my mom was like, "Oh no." And she was like, "Well, throw out the other one." And I was like, "Well, they were individually wrapped." And she's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And nothing had been in the can, like because it was a sealed metal can of olive oil, but within the wrapping there were the bugs. And I was like, I'm just gonna test it. Because my mom is like, the fact that you're even saying this is crazy. Like you coming from you that you're willing to see if the other one has bugs or not. When you used to go screaming, and I still do sometimes, like from things, like she's like, this is insane. And I checked the other one and it was totally fine. She's like, so what are you gonna do to make sure that doesn't happen? I was like, well, first of all, it was in the wrapping. So it's nothing I did, and it's not my apartment, and I checked my whole apartment and there's nothing. Second of all, I'm keeping that shit in a plastic bag. Where so that I know that if anything gets in, I'll know if someone gets in.
yeah. Yeah. See, the fact that like I'm the grown adult in this house that has to take care of bugs is just offensive at this point. Like, what do you
Oh no,
mean?
I mean
What
my
do you mean?
mom,
When there's a
I
bug
used
in
to
the
talk
house,
about
I'm the one
how
who has
like,
to
oh, I
clean
hate
things.
bugs, but thankfully my mom's okay with them. And then it wasn't until I became a legal adult where my mom was like, "Oh no, I don't like bugs." But as the adult in the home, I had to do it.
Yeah. Like when things happen, they
But if
come to
I was
me.
watching Riley at my apartment and there was a bug, and there were a few times, and Riley would be like, "Ooh, let me sniff. Can I eat?" And I'd be like, "No," and I'd have to kill it immediately. And you just have to step up.
You do. Oh, it's exhausting. Especially because I love my house, but the joys of living in a very old house is that there's little creaks and little things and stuff comes in all the time.
Yeah. Sorry for all. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Okay, people are in the forest room. I missed the 15-minute mark, but I'm too impatient to wait 4 more minutes, so we're going to start the next sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. sorry, was doing tarot stuff and lost track of time. But basically, what happened was the phone call earlier was a tarot reading. And then I like to make it in my own card so I can see it and like see patterns and stuff. And it was just like, yeah, I had taken all the notes. Sorry. Um, sorry. I was just messaging someone about something. Amara, how'd you do?
I have 7 less words. I actually did really good. I continued like just shifting things around and then like just it's so funny because like I have an idea in my head of like and I've written this scene because it's the first chapter, so it's like I've written this so many times, but like every time I think about it, I'm like, this should be changed just a little bit. And I think it's finally good. And one of the things that helped me is because this is like a really, really rich lady. I started watching all of these. It's actually a really cozy thing that also makes me kind of angry. Is I started watching all of these like house tour things, like we're real estate agents, but they go into like this $55 million home, $12 million home, like all of these like really, really big homes that like wealthy people have. And it has actually been so I know some of it's like this is ridiculous, but it was actually really helpful because like I did not know the really, really rich people have 2 kitchens. They have like their normal kitchen and then there's like a door, and a lot of times there's like a kitchen behind the kitchen, and that's like their chef's kitchen. So when they're having like parties or like things, which actually fits this story very well. So I was like, oh my God. So there's like a kitchen behind the kitchen. I did not know that.
Apparently, I don't know any rich people then.
Right? So apparently, yeah. So like they have a kitchen behind the kitchen, and like so that was helpful. So like just little touches like that that I needed to like add in for like references to things, or just I had to figure out the room that they're in, like how does the layout of the house, like what, like if they're going to be on the stairs, like what are they walking to, and why does it make sense that like where her closet is. Like so I had to work that out. So because I changed some of the like logistic things of literally like how her house looks, so that way it's not like you walk up the stairs and then how are you in 2 places at the same time. That doesn't make sense. That ended up changing a lot of stuff, and now I'm like scrolling through and the scene finally like makes sense, and I like shifted things, and now I need to stop touching it.
Are you doing this edit just like to make it make sense, not like fully line edit?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing line edits. I'm just like basically, yeah, just making it make sense, or just fixing things that I'm like improving it. So I'm not doing like a full line edit yet, but I'm just making things better where I can, or like for example, like certain conversations that I kind of had all as like a giant block. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but I can break up a little bit. Because I also wrote this first chapter in 2022 before I even like went to school to get my creative writing degree and learned stuff, and was like, oh, I can apply said things I have learned to make this first chapter much better. And so it's kind of fun as I'm like scrolling through things. I'm like, I can see where I learned stuff because I've been writing this draft since 2022. So, but I'm done with this scene and I need to not touch it until I get to the 3rd draft. So, because I think it's good for where it's at now.
Regina, have you gone into your settings of the Forest app and clicked sync? Sorry, just this thing that popped up this morning is like taking over my day,
Oh
or at least
no.
my morning. I also can't even think about how I want to phrase a question, so that's fun. My brain decided to stop working. Okay. I'm gonna share the next. Sorry. A family friend has wanted my mom and me to send her a picture of Riley to do one of those like glass etching thingies. And my mom and I finally decided on a photo. So my mom texted it to me. I'm like, do you want me to send it to this person or okay, you open Forest, Regina, you click the hamburger menu, settings, sync. Which I still need to set up my bullet journal for the day.
Oh no, 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 no.
Okay, Regina, let me know if that worked for you. This next sprint is going to be more of the thing. Okay, forest room. Let's just set up the next one. Did it work, Regina? So I have the attention span of a goldfish today, apparently, because I keep forgetting what was picked, but this is why I leave notes for myself.
Oh my gosh, Franklin is having a moment. A dog somewhere down the street barked and then he started losing his mind. So I'm like pulling up all the cameras to see like what is going on. And I can't see anything. And now he just like crawled back into bed and is just looking annoyed.
Okay, this is all letters, which is
Oh,
weird.
crazy. Shh. Fine. Wait.
Where's this email? Nope, that's trash. That's a different email. Too many emails, even in the inbox that I regularly check, but I still need to unsubscribe from a bunch of those. Yay. Okay. Great, Regina. So, Sirens, we're going to start our third sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. the question is, am I going to get any more work done during this live stream? And you are muted, Amara, so.
Yes, I'm struggling with, I moved the browser over to the side when I am working on stuff, and then I dropped my mouse, and now it doesn't want to, like, it works, but it's like if I'm gonna click something, I have to like
Slam it.
slam it. It's awful.
Is the button jammed?
I don't know. I had to figure it out. I broke it. I mean, it still works. I think maybe the button's jammed. I have to mess with it. Because it's driving me nuts. But I am done writing for the day because the next thing I have to like think on, and I have a lot of like cleaning stuff to do in my house. And I always think best when I'm like, whenever I'm cleaning or doing yard work and stuff, I just think about my story and like rewrite things in my brain. Because I'm merging, like, I'm basically taking a scene that happens like 3 scenes in the future and moving that next to kind of get more of like the fluff that doesn't matter out of the way and just shifting things around. But it's also with different people and in a different time of day. So I have to do a lot of like shifting around. But I read it. I read through what happens next. So now I can think about it for a while. And so I'm just going to clean my house. But I started, I made a to-do list for the day. And then I started like the intro to a vlog that I'm filming about the to-do list that I had to do today.
Nice.
So
I am cannibalizing a triceratops I made out of blue yarn so that I can finish the triceratops that I started yesterday. Because even though I am getting more blue yarn, I figured, you know, I have this. And this was my first time doing the pattern, so I've gotten better at it since, so I don't feel bad about undoing it. If I liked the yellow, I actually would have just sent this one, but I want to do it with white horns because I'm making one for each of the try guys. And like around their logo for second try is a white background. So I figured I would do that instead of, you know, the yellow that the pattern actually calls for.
that's cool.
But I did this a little too well, so I'm having to like really go in and undo my work.
That crochet fidget spinner is so perfect, like especially in a movie theater, because they were like, well, because Jason had his other one that's like a spinny one. I was like, you cannot take that into a theater. And he was like, oh, I know. And he grabbed it. I was like, yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. And it was so perfect because like he was getting a little stressed out because he doesn't like fighting scenes. And it was a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, where
And
they're
I could just see him just like flipping it, and then he's like also really scared to like break it, so he like starts just turning it in his hands like a little wheel.
I'm excited about breaking it. I made it as secure as possible.
No, you really did. It's so cool, and it's like I've taken it a few times, but like it's so because you can like just kind of, and every time you do it, you get different colors. Like it's so cool. It is so cool. But in a movie theater, oh my God, it's perfect. So I have like a little bag, that came with, I have no idea. Something I think somebody got me for a present or something. And it's like kind of like a soft bag and it fits in there perfectly. So I can like stick it in that and then put it in my purse and just like let it live there. But it came in really handy at a movie, like, because I had Jason next to me getting stressed out, Jesse wanting to ask like 5,000 questions. So eventually I just handed him my phone and let him type them out on notes. And then my nephew keep asking me, are you crying? I'm like, leave me alone.
You're like, yes, I'm emotional at seeing Tom Holland act his heart out.
Right? I was like, listen, you're not allowed. I think I said, don't cry shame me.
Good. Don't shame me for my emotions.
Right. He's such a funny kid.
The nephew?
Yeah. So because he's turning like 13 in a couple months, my sister decided like apparently TikTok has like a teen account thing now where it's like connected to the parents and they can like monitor things and approve stuff and all of that. And so she's like, I'm going to start it this way because he's going to go to school where all of his friends already have it. And I don't want him just like, you know what I mean? Like doing it that way. And so the only people she approved are like us basically, and like his like trusted people. And so this kid has been sending me every single day videos calling me old and short.
Respect your elders.
I tried telling him that and he said, see, you're calling yourself old.
Yeah. Well, that's just how time
Kids
works.
are brutal. Kids are
That's just how time works.
brutal.
But yeah, teens are a special breed.
Yeah, they are.
I
Yeah.
recently rewatched Eugene's like final season of Try Guys, and like in that season they do color guard, and they like all of a sudden have to perform in front of like 1,000 high schoolers.
Oh
And
no.
Eugene is like, high schoolers are the meanest. I'm
Yeah.
like, my experience was middle school was meaner, but yeah, like
Yeah.
the idea that like kids are.
Middle school is brutal. And mine haven't even started. But it's like on one side he's doing that, and then like the other part that's so cute is like at one point we were talking about something and then his whole face lit up. He's like, "Can you bake me bread while I'm here?" Because I started baking the fall. I was like, "Sure." And then it was so funny because I'm like, "Let me just make sure I have everything because it's been so hot I haven't been baking." So I go over and I'm like
Yeah,
looking, I'm
because
like,
who's
"Yes, I
gonna
have
turn
my
on an
yeast."
oven when it's like you
Right?
feel like you're living in one?
Exactly. So I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, let me see. And I'm like, yeah. So I pull out my yeast and I'm like, yes, I have everything. Cool. I'll make it for you tomorrow. And then I go to actually start making him his bread. And I go back over to the cupboard and I open up the thing and I open up the jar of yeast. It's empty. And then
Oh
he
no.
looked so sad. And I was like, okay, like, let me see if I can find, I'm sure there's like recipes for bread. It might not be the same one, but that doesn't need yeast. So I found something else. It was like a baking powder thing. It was fine. But
But
here's
most
the funny
bread
part.
needs yeast.
Yeah. Yeah, for like what I usually bake it does. But like he liked it. It was good. It was like a cheesy bread. I think it just tastes like a giant dry bagel, but he really liked it. The funniest part is when shortly after I've already baked his bread and he has already tried it, I'm going to put stuff away and I find my entire full thing of yeast. Apparently, I had taken it down, set it down by like, and then it got like shifted to the side and back behind like the near the microwave. So it was out of view. So I had apparently put two of them away. One was full, one was empty. And the entire time I could have made him the bread he really wanted.
Did you end up doing that too?
No, because we didn't have enough time, but I told him if he wanted to, I could bake it because he's with his dad and stepmom this week, but he has to go back to my sister on Monday. And in order to get to my sister, they have to basically drive past my house. So I said, if you guys want to stop, I can bake. I just need to know if you're actually stopping or not.
Yeah, because you're not gonna.
Yeah, so I'll probably bake it, and then if they end up not coming by, then that's just bread for my kids. So,
And you.
and yeah, and me. But it's just like really cute because I just started getting into baking last year, and it's just like really cute because I enjoy doing it, but like what's really fun is like my family and their reaction and how excited they get when I bake bread, or like it makes me feel really happy.
It's fun. It's fun when someone you know is baking bread, especially if it's good bread and you get to eat it.
Yeah, and I get to try new things, and yeah.
I love that for you and your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, and it's just like really cute because he's like a sassy little 12-year-old, almost 13-year-old kid. But like one minute he's trolling me and teasing me, and the next minute he's like, "Can you bake for me, Auntie?"
That is cute. I just broke the yarn. Shit.
Oh no.
Because of the stuffing. The stuffing fucked it up. I have to get past the stuffing. I was doing so well, and then I pulled a little bit too hard. Man. I'll just get past it. I'll get past it. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I already did more than half the body with the yarn I have. So if I do this, it should be okay. But that's irritating. I just gotta find which yarn I need to continue pulling. There it is. Okay. We're cool. We're cool. We're cool. I'm gonna take the stuffing out though, so it's not a pain in my ass going forward.
So how long does it take to do one of those?
If I'm distracted, like 3 hours. If I'm not distracted, like 2.
I thought you were going to say like a week. That is so fast. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. The good yarn's still intertwined with the old bad one that broke. FML. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. I mean, if this doesn't work out, like I said, I did buy more yarn that is coming. I just thought I would reduce, reuse, recycle. Regina's still working on the romance. I only say that word because she used it, but I think she used it towards herself derogatorily, and I'm like, I am still working on my projects, Inimitable and my personal ones, so things of quality take time. I say right after, I'm like, oh, I'm able to do this in hours, but that's because this is easy to me. And I'm following someone else's instructions. The Woobles instructions. Because once you buy a kit, you own the pattern, which is nice. And would be crazy if it wasn't the case, but you know, capitalism ruins everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Now the problem is I left the blue one that I started at my apartment yesterday because I was like, oh, the yarn's not arriving. Didn't think that one fully through. But you know, we all have lapses in judgment. Okay, let me share the next forest room. And then I really need to edit this vlog because it is currently almost 5 hours and that's way too long. Okay.
I have this really bad habit where I have so many vlogs that I've started and then got so busy that then I never finish it. And then I just feel like, oh, instead of starting them like another day and piecing them together, I'm like, I just need to scrap it and start all over. And then I'm
Well,
like, what have I posted in a month?
I had started a vlog, and like I had filmed like one day of it, and I was like, this isn't worth it. And also that day like had a ton of Riley footage, and it just made me too sad at the
Yeah.
time. Because had I edited it around the time that I filmed it, it still would have been a sad time for me because Riley was getting sicker at that period. Like we didn't realize the tumors were growing again at that time, but we were noticing like her just sleeping a lot more and like other things like that. So bummer stuff like that. Okay. Forest room code is also all letters again, randomly generated. Uniform Whiskey Golf, Quebec, November, X-Ray Sierra Golf.
Wait. Wait, I might have typed it in wrong.
I might
Oh,
UWGQNXSG.
I did E instead of X. That's what I did wrong.
Okay, I was like, I thought I was careful this time.
No, it was a me thing. It's always a me thing. Ooh, the calla lilies.
That is
That's my
not true.
favorite.
I've definitely messed up the code, and then Regina's like, it's not working. And I'm like, oh, my bad.
These are my favorite flowers, by the way.
Calla lily.
Mm-hmm.
They're very pretty. What is this yarn doing? I don't know, but I will investigate. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. I got it down to 3 hours. And even then, I still need to do voiceovers and figure out if 5 minutes of audio is too long, too long or too short for me to do voiceovers for certain sections.
That's amazing. You cut it down by 2 hours in just 25 minutes, and I made half of my bed. The kids woke up though, so like they distracted me. I made a list of things I need to clean because I made my to-do list, which is just like clean the house, and then I made a list of things I need to clean in the house, and then I pulled the bedding off and I got half of it remade, and I did make sure that children are happy, entertained, and alive. So
I mean, to be fair, it was easy to cut down when I just took every like 20 to 30-minute time lapse. Well, I wasn't filming them as time lapses because you can't film a time lapse in 4K on an iPhone. So I film it in 4K and then in the editor I speed it up. And if everything that was 30 minutes is now 5 minutes.
yeah.
So even as we spoke, I just cut down another hour. So now we're at 2 hours.
See, that's one thing I do miss about, because I used to edit in Adobe Premiere, because when I was in school, they gave us the whole Premiere thing. Like, it's great. Like, I have a great computer that I got from when I was in school, and like they provided like all the programs and everything. Like, I have Final Draft, which I'll be able to keep forever. But like all the Microsoft stuff I don't have anymore. Like anything that needed a license, they like revoked the license right away after graduation. And so I don't have any of the Adobe stuff, and it's so expensive. And now you have the Final Cut, and like Apple has like their like Creator Studio thing, which is basically very similar to everything that Adobe had. And it's like, I think for Final Cut Pro, it's like $13 for the month, or you can, I don't remember what the cost is for the year, but for the first month, it still had me registered as a student. So I was able to get the student discount because Apple hadn't like, I hadn't hit the like, we need to recheck this yet. Cause it was like, yeah. So I was able to get it, the whole thing, for $30 for the year. And then next year it's gonna be a lot more. But the problem is, now that I don't have Adobe, they don't have like a text-based editor, because it was so nice, like being able to just have it transcribe, and then I just scroll through and just delete like pauses that way, or like, yeah, it made the process of editing so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, I go on tangents.
That's okay.
So, but like editing, like the problem is if I'm annoying myself when I'm editing, then like that's just too much.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I tried the auto edit things. And I just did not like them.
See, it's not so much like an auto editor. It was just that like it would transcribe, so you could scroll through and I could see, like, because it basically would turn it into like a Word document almost. So I could just basically read all the random stuff I was talking about. And I could be like, okay, this whole section here, I don't need to be talking about literally any of this. And so I could just like highlight it and then delete it. Or then like it would tell you like if there's a long pause, and you could hover over and see like how long that pause was for, and like either keep it or like delete it. So if I know that I like walked away from the screen and like the camera, and I was doing something and came back like 2 minutes later, I would just click a button, and then that whole 2 minutes is like cut out for me. And then I have to go through and do the fine tuning and like, edit even more. But it made the process of like cutting it down to something a little bit more feasible. I could do that in 15 minutes instead of like an hour.
Yeah.
Because now I have to actually watch myself and listen to myself talk the whole time.
You're like, I hate this.
I know. It's so bad. It's so bad. Especially like when I'm alone and it's just me and my camera because there's nobody else to feed off of or look at facial expressions that tell me, okay, you're talking too much. Um, it's just me and my camera. So me and my camera, we go on for days.
That's okay. That's fine. I had to take some vlog footage from a vlog that already went up, so I'm also able to cut that down.
Oh, that's nice.
Because it was like a 10-minute clip. I'm like, I don't need everyone to see 10 minutes of this again. That's boring. Also, what was a 2-minute time lapse is now going to be a minute long time lapse. I don't want to trim that. I want to speed it up. Yeah, so really I'm taking things and making them much faster. That's me talking. Okay, that's 9 minutes. Not 9 minutes, 2 minutes long. Yeah, so I'm definitely cutting down on the vlog. And the voiceovers and stuff. If I just speed through this. For some reason I kept filming despite not doing anything else in this clip. I clearly had a voiceover at the time, but yeah. Ugh, editing. Always something to edit for me. Book, video, no longer podcast. But now I'm down to 1 hour and 42 minutes from 4 hours and like 54 minutes. And that was after I'd already done certain things into time lapses. So really it would have been like 5.5 hours of raw footage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. Thank God for speed editors.
What do you use?
I use iMovie for the rough cut because Premiere Pro limits me on how much I can speed up a clip.
Yeah.
Whereas iMovie doesn't seem to. And so I'm like, okay, well, you bet your butt I'm going to use the one that lets me make it as fast as I want.
Yeah.
Because also, it's boring to watch a 5-minute time lapse.
Yeah.
Like, part of me is like, do I just make everything 30 seconds? But then I'm like, that's really fast.
That's too fast. Yeah. Well, and like I don't mind like longer time lapses if there's like a voiceover or music or something. Cause a lot of times like I put stuff on like while I'm doing things. So like I always find it fun. It's like I'm watching like that part's
Yeah,
like a
I mean, I do voiceovers over my time lapses, but also I
yeah.
just don't want this to take forever to upload the same way that previous things have in the past.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, we're going to make this a reasonable length, even though it was 2 weeks of vlogging. And also, like, in my video clips where I'm talking, they're normally like 1 to 3 minutes long. So I should be able to do the voiceovers.
That's good.
And if I have to do them multiple times to be like, nope, keep it to a minute, like, I'll live. But 5 minutes is too long for a time lapse. I'm just like, nope, let's not do that. 1 hour and 1 minute is what I ended up at while talking with you during this last.
That's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, 1 hour, 5 minutes.
I also plugged in my vacuum. That was something else I did. So I got this like off the internet. It was just like this. It's supposed to be a knockoff of like the Dyson like stick vacuum thingies, and it's pink. And I have to say, it works so good because like I have all hardwood floors, so it just like attracts dirt like crazy. The only problem is the battery is like 7.5 minutes. Like that's an exaggeration. It lasts a little bit longer than that, but barely. Like it does not last very long. So I feel like every time I clean a room, I have to like charge the vacuum again. So I have the vacuum. I'm thinking ahead, and I'm
Yeah.
charging before I get to the vacuuming part. So then when I'm ready to vacuum, it should be fully charged.
So my vacuum doesn't keep its battery, so it always has to be plugged in, which I hate so much. But I
Yeah.
know if I ever unplug it, I'll forget to plug it back in.
Yeah. But it's really cute and it's pink.
Ooh, that is cute. We love a cute little vacuum. Mine is a Dyson, but I got it refurbished and it worked well with its battery for like a year, and then the battery issues started, and I'm like, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, is this just not the cutest? Like, this just makes you want to clean.
That's adorable. Where is my
like Barbie's dream vacuum?
Okay, I am going to hop off here because I do need to take a shower before I go out for the day. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient while I was a bit late this morning. And was late to coming back from sprints, but I hope you got things done. I definitely did. And yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow afternoon here on. No, I'm on Holly's stream tomorrow. I think. I don't know if she's scheduled it yet, but I should be on Holly's stream tomorrow. Over on YouTube. Here on YouTube. Oh my god, we're on YouTube. It's today's Sunday. Okay. So thank you for being here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.